coming back to work this week, huh?
Yeah, it did. You know, a little more energy, a little more excitement. You know, it's always good to get that first win. And you know, I thought we went down there and played very, very well. Except first series on defense and the first two series on offense. You know, after we calmed down a little bit and figured out what they were doing to us defensively and kind of what they were doing to us offensively, I thought our kids settled down and we played very, very well. You know, the rest of the game. Still a few too many penalties, especially false starts, a couple bad snaps. You know, we got to eliminate those things. You know, especially when we start playing, you know, Lindenwood this week, and then you start looking at, you know, Pitt, Washburn, and those teams. You can't make mistakes like that. So those are something we got to work on as well. But I thought overall, kids performed at a good level. Swarmed to the ball on defense. I thought offensively, we finally got a run game going there in the second half, and you know, I was very pleased with the performance.
What is it about your team on the road as opposed to at home? I mean, they seem to almost sometimes play better, maybe more relaxed. You know, I don't know.
More sleep, you know, might be part of it. We're around them all the time. You know, we still do the meetings, same type of meetings that we always do with them. We have special teams meetings in the evening like we do here. We have team meeting like we do here. And, you know, I don't know what it is. You know, when you're on the road, you pretty much got an idea exactly what they're doing. When you're at home, sometimes you're not quite sure what they're doing on Friday night. They're staying up too late. You know, they're not getting to bed on time because on the road we have a curfew check, you know, which is usually 10:30 bed check, and making sure they're in the rooms and doing the things they need to do to prepare themselves to play. And, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it's a lack of focus or, you know, more focus on the road, or maybe it's just being on the road, we're a little more relaxed. But, you know, we need to play relaxed this week at home and play the way we can play.
It seemed like the Central Oklahoma game, they were really tight, and not so much at Northeastern. I mean, is there anything you can do to try to alleviate some of that with your this week?
I think Central Oak, expectations were high for them. They expected a lot out of themselves, and they started playing really tight. And when things got bad, they played even tighter. And, you know, you can't play this game tight. You got to be focused. You got to be relaxed. You got to play calm and cool. And, you know, we did that this weekend at Northeastern. And I just felt our kids came out and they felt good about themselves still. They had a great week of practice. And they were confident, but they weren't overconfident, I think, like we were the week before. And but just a great performance by them on Saturday.
Talking about how good this conference is every week. Only 3 2-0 teams right now. Is that a surprise to you at this point?
No, you never know. You never know who's going to beat who. I mean, it's very competitive. You know, UCO beating MOS is, you know, that's a good win for them. And that shows that they're a pretty strong team as well. As a coach, that makes me feel a little bit better. You know, losing to them, but, you know, that's a game I still wish we would have done things right. Who knows what would have happened. But not in this conference. You know, you got to be ready to play each week. I mean, every team's tough. Every team can win. And you got to be prepared each week to play at a high level. And if you're not prepared to play at a high level, you know, there's a chance you can lose the ball game.
Do you think that they learned something from the loss against Central Oklahoma when they went into week 2?
I think so. And it's more of doing your job and finishing your job. And when we watched film against UCO, we didn't really finish, you know, a lot of our blocks, you know, on offense. Finished catching the ball, you know, a few times. And then defensively, the main thing I saw is we didn't swarm the ball. We didn't tackle very well. And I think that's something we did a lot better. You know, this week when we played Northeastern, we finished blocks. We caught the balls we were supposed to catch. The quarterback made some good decisions, you know, except for one play right before the half. And, you know, I thought defensively we really swarmed to the ball. When we swarmed to the ball and hit people, we could create turnovers. And that's something that we didn't do in week 1. We didn't create any turnovers on defense, and we did that this week. And, you know, get our offense the ball, give them more chances to put points on the board. And I thought Drew did a good job of, you know, kicking 2 big field goals for us. You know, we had to hit them on offense.
About the offensive line, it seemed like, especially in the second half, they played much, much better than they had all the UCO game and even the first half Saturday.
Yeah, Northeastern kind of gave us a look that we weren't used to. UCO did a lot of that to us as well. But, you know, Coach Schreiber and Coach Iskey, you know, and, you know, all of our offensive coaches really buckled down to see what they were doing to us. And they made some great adjustments on the sideline. Got into half and really solidified what we needed to do offensively, blocking scheme-wise, and, you know, it worked for us. And, you know, they took a little ownership. I gave them a challenge at halftime as well. You know, we had 37 yards rushing at half, and that was it. And I asked them if they were happy with that. And they weren't pleased with it. I was like, well, we need almost 200 yards or more. You know, we almost reached that 200-yard mark, you know, towards the end of the game.
Quarterback situation going forward, looking like Kevin and Luke using Travion more in an athlete-type role?
I think so. I mean, Travion's such a great athlete. I think we've got to use him as much as we can. Wide receiver, tailback, jet sweeps, you know, those to get him in pass routes. And then let him play some quarterback. We're calling it Wildcat now for him. think just calms him down a little bit, gets his mind off the game a little bit. You know, being that starter sometimes is overwhelming for a kid. But I think with him, you know, being able to move him around and use him at any time as a different weapon is going to benefit our team tremendously.
Michael Terry seemed to do a nice job with that defensive end position, coming around the outside.
He did a great job for us. Mike Terry did. I mean, Joey was out this week. Didn't know if we were going to get him back or not. In game time, his decision not to play him, and you know, Mike Terry stepped in this week and did a great job for us. And you know, you need kids to do those things. Sometimes when you move them from position to position, they kind of fall back a little bit, aren't buying into it. He bought into it and had a tremendous game for us. Had a couple of sacks, I believe, tackled for losses, you know, and just did a good job of getting pressure on the quarterback. And I was very proud of him stepping in that role and doing the things that he did for us, you know, on Saturday.
What's the situation right now with Marshall and Musil? Do you know anything yet as far as?
Not good. I mean, the MRIs, we'll find out more with the MRI tomorrow. Doesn't sound great. Hate losing the kid for a season, but I think it might be a season-ending thing. But don't know that until the MRI comes out. Told him tough it out. Let's put a brace on him. Let's go. And he's one of those kids that says, "I'm ready. I'm ready." It doesn't matter with him. He's ready to go at all times. So who knows? You know, who knows what might happen.
If he can't go and if he is done, what kind of a loss is that? 'Cause it seems like so many times he really frees up some space down to the goal line for him.
It's huge for us because he's on all special teams. He's on our kickoff team. He's on our punt team. He's on our return team. You know, he's on every team that we got. You know, offensively, special teams wise, and then down the goal line now we're looking to move some guys around to help, you know, fulfill his spot that we just lost him from. But just his athleticism, the things he can do on the field, you know, is going to hurt our team a little bit. So you're probably looking at us doing a little bit more 11 personnel than any 12. But, you know, it's a chance for some of those young guys like J.J. Lewis and Connor Farmer. You know, it's time for you guys to step up and be men and grow up and let's get the job done. So, this is not great, but it also gives those young guys a chance to get some reps and be better for us in the future.
Does it change your play calling offensively in certain situations, not having a guy like that on the field?
It might a little bit. You know, I still think there's some things that we could do. You know, just receivers might have to crack a little bit more than they have in the past and get more involved in the blocking game with the linebackers and things like that. But I think we can make it work. There's just different things you got to do, but it will affect us a little bit.
What about the receivers? They had a really good day, especially some. Isaiah had a nice touchdown catch, a tough catch, and Ed being it.
Yeah, I mean, receiving-wise, I thought all those guys, I mean, they all blocked very well. And that's something Coach McCray stresses with them all the time, is blocking. You know, because we got to be able to get to the edge and get yards down the field. And sometimes the receivers get lazy and we're running power and the quarterback breaks it. But if the receiver's lazy, their guy tackles the back. And it could have been a scoring play instead of, you know, now we've got a 20-yard gain instead of a touchdown. And, you know, they've done that tremendous for us. Receiving-wise, they've done a great job of understanding quarterback scrambling, where they need to get to. You know, that's been a huge part of our offense too, because Trayvon runs around quite a bit back there. And it helps him, you know, find those receivers that are open. But just their hands, their blocking, the way they run their routes, you know, and I mean, they're just great leaders on the field and they work hard every day. You know, if we get every kid to work as hard as those guys work, you know, we'll have a tremendous football team.
Lindenwood, I mean, past history, there've been two really good games in the short time you played them.
Hopefully it's another one. You know, hopefully we're on the good side of it. They're a good football team. Got a great quarterback. He's got a great sense of pocket presence. You know about him. Sits in there very well. Sees his receivers. Receivers run great routes. O-line protects him very well. And then, you know, we're going to have to try to find a way to get pressure on him. You know, to hopefully rattle him a little bit. But I don't know if we can rattle him or not. He just has that presence about him where he gets hit, he gets right back up, and he's ready to go again. And then, you know, they got a great run game. You know, they're known for mostly passing, but this year they're pretty even, you know, run to pass, and the run game's really come around, you know, these last couple of years, and they're impressive on offense. And I think they average 30-some points a game, and you know, hopefully we keep them below their average. And then defensively, you know, they got some very strong D linemen, slant quite a bit, you know, so we'll be ready for slants and twists. Great linebackers, you know, number 16, I can't remember his name, he's a tremendous athlete, tremendous ball player, and you know, he does well in the run game and in the pass game. I know he had 2 picks against Washburn that really hurt, you know, Washburn's team, you know, in the first game, and you know, we got to know where he's at all times. And then, you know, their secondary is very solid. You know, they don't get beat deep very much. They keep everything in front and they break on the ball. So they're a very salty team. They're a very talented team. They're a very physical football team, and we're going to be ready to play. And hopefully we can find ways to attack them, you know, on our offensive side and defensively, you know, not give up any big plays and create some turnovers.
Do they spread it out and open up their offense as much as anybody you play this year?
Yeah, they are. There are a lot of doubles and trips. They run quite a bit of that every once in a while. You'll see them in, tight ends set, quarter to one side and twins to the other. But, they're mostly going to be 10 personnel, and they're going to spread you out and try to get you as far out as they can and try to run the ball on you. Then you start squeezing in, they're going to throw the ball on you. So we got to have a happy medium of what we're doing defensively.
And how important is this one to get when you look at what's coming up down the road? I know you don't look ahead, but the importance of this one Saturday.
Every game's important. We're talking about week to week, and now this is the most important game, on our schedule right now. And, we got to go out and do our best to win this ball game. And knowing it's not going to be easy, we just got to be sure that we take care of business. Not turn the ball over, get third down conversions on offense, and then defensively, don't give up a lot of points and create some turnovers for our offense. But right now, it's one of the most important games for us. The next week will be the next important game. So, we're focused on this one like it's, one of the most important games of your life. And that's how we got to play on Saturday.
What do you tell the guys about, how to focus and win a game at home, or at least play well at home? Something, the road and away has been a little bit different the past few years.
Just keep your focus and know why you're here. When you're on the road, it's pretty easy because you're kind of away from everything. When you're at home, you got a lot of distractions. Don't let the distractions, take away from why you're really here. You're here for football and you're here for school. Those are the two main reasons. Don't let partying, don't let girls, and let all those things, involve your life too much and take away from why you're here. You're here to get your education and get a degree, and you're here to play football. And make the most out of those two, and you'll go a long ways in life.
Good.